Welcome to the Farm RPG Podcast. I am your host, Bellogan. This episode features a staff spotlight with Rkm13, finally, and a player spotlight with Raybis. We also had a Meld M player spotlight from TwelfhOtter, so let's dig into that first. First question, how did you learn about Farm RPG and how long have you been playing? TwelfhOtter tells us, I learned about Farm RPG from my boyfriend, the infamous band Yellow. It was around Thanksgiving, and he was complaining about how hard it was to get raptor eggs. At that point, he had already asked me to do his painful crafting in the car every so often. Then he started to ask me to go into Whispering Creek. He made a deal that I'd get a prize for every egg found. I'm still sad, slightly bitter. I got him a Christmas raptor, but I didn't get mine in time. I started playing December 4th in 2021. Safe to say he spent some of my hard-earned silver buying a ton of pine tree seeds. I sadly did not get a Christmas raptor as well, despite my best efforts. Second question, in one sentence, describe Farm RPG. TwelfhOtter says, my happy, feel-good getaway when I need a break from the cruelty of the real world, especially giveaway chat. All right. Giveaway chat, what are you doing? You've been described as cruel. I'm not sure, but there you have it. All right, question 3. Where did your Farm RPG username come from? TwelfhOtter says, I guess I should explain first off, no otters were harmed in the making of this name. Most Seattle residents of Washington State would recognize the 12th fan, Seahawks reference, and I love otters. What isn't there to love about them? They're fuzzy, cute, and fluffling adorable, but can also be mean as heck when necessary, because you don't want to mess with a heckin' male otter. And female otters are so selfless. If you want to learn more about otters, strongly recommend listening to Ology's podcast by Lutrinology. Shout out to Lori of Glory for telling me about this episode. Besides Farm RPG, what games do you like to play? TwelfhOtter tells us, I'm actually not much of a gamer. Band Yellow can attest to that. But prior to Farm RPG, he turned me on to Pokemon Go. Can't deny a childhood remake. Next, we ask, what's one thing you wish the Farm RPG community knew? TwelfhOtter says, I wish the community knew how amazing they are for making everyone feel welcomed. Ahem, giveaways. The banter is always a highlight, and those who become regulars check on each other. But I also would like to say, please remember that we're all humans, so please do be gentle and try to take care of each other. I'm going to bend the rules and also mention I appreciate the updated otter page. More fluffy, fuzzy things, the better. And last question, tell us an interesting fact about yourself. 12thOtter says, I love otters. We could guess that. I also like to make friends with lonely fruits and holler at the town when it's an hour before reset. Oh, and I love puns, especially food puns. Send them to me so I can use them at work. And there you go. Thanks, 12thOtter, for sending in those written responses. We sure appreciate it. With that, let's dig into the rest of our episode. Hey, welcome back to the Farm RPG Podcast. As always, I am Bellogan. Got my co-host here, Augie. Augie? Okay, maybe not. Okay. Augie canceled on us last minute. Something about a head exploding and other bodily functions that wouldn't be great to have recorded. I thought it would have been nice for a blooper reel since Orville was asking. Anyway, moving on. We're doing another staff spotlight today. We've got the one and only Rkm13.
Greetings. How are you all?
I'm going to suppose they're doing fantastic, and I'm doing wonderful myself. We're just bracing for a hurricane coming in, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Next week. We'll see.
Oh, my goodness. I can't even imagine what that would be like. Sounds stressful.
That's the fun of living in Florida. You get all the new people like, what do I do with my pool? And everyone's like, get some adult beverages and hop in the pool and ride it out. You'll be able to see everything going on.
Oh, wow. I never thought of that idea. That'd be exciting, to say the least.
Apparently, it's an issue. Some people try to drain lots of water out of their pool, but then the ground gets so soaked, it'll actually pop it right out of the ground if they drain too much water out.
Wow. Some pools would be heavy enough, but I guess not.
I mean, yeah, you'd think so. The things you learn on the Farm RPG podcast.
Right? Exactly. Construction tips and everything. All right.
a wide variety of topics for our listeners' edification. All right, well let's jump off that. Let's talk about you, Rkm13. Does Rkm stand for anything specific, or?
It does. So I was a RuneScape player about 15 or so years ago, and looking around for a username, and so my parents used Rkm because my name starts with an R, my sisters start with a K and an M, and I was 13 at the time. Pretty easy, straightforward, and I kind of just stuck with it for ever since then. It's easy. Most people, it's one of those you could type it in, and chances are no one's used it before, and I use it pretty much everywhere. So it's not too exciting, but it definitely is a handy name to call myself because, like I said, no one takes it. So that's that.
There you go. Does anyone try to read it like Rkm or something like that?
Rkm? You can probably say Rkm, I guess, or something like that. Yeah.
I learned when I learned to speak Czech, you can read words that don't have vowels in them. They just kind of smear together that way.
Wow, I've never tried that before, but that does sound interesting to try to figure out.
You just have to roll the R so it sounds fancy. Rkm.
I've never been able to do that. I've tried to learn Spanish, and it doesn't work with me. So that would be tough.
All right. So you first started playing, looks like not all that long ago, back in February. Pulling up your profile.
I'm definitely a newbie for the staff, no doubt.
I can tell your player notes aren't super long yet. Just a couple mentions of being banned. Something about being a nerd, officially documented forever by TOS. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Probably a couple Star Wars versus Star Trek references. I've gotten into a little debate about that. Clearly, Star Trek is the best. No question.
I'm happy to let you have that opinion. It's okay to be wrong. So how did you find Farm RPG in the first place?
It's kind of I listen to the podcast, and it's a pretty standard response, just scrolling through the App Store. I love incremental games. I love text-based games, and my only disappointment is I didn't find it earlier, but it's one of those, hey, that looks like an interesting icon. I like the simple icons. I find that they're not the ones with a bunch of ads and all kinds of nonsense. I think we all know what we're talking about there, what I'm talking about. And so hey, okay, this looks exciting. This looks interesting at least. And I think I downloaded it, didn't really pay attention till the next day. I think I've logged in every day since then. It really is one of those games that just sucked me right in.
Pulled in right off the bat.
It really did, yeah.
We pulled this off the profiles. You used to could see how many people had been referred by you. Have you had anyone come through that you referred to the game?
My wife is, I think, the only one. She didn't really stick with it. Otherwise, I don't have a huge circle of friends, and I'm definitely not ones that would be interested in this game. So it hasn't been one I've shared too much.
So not lots and lots. So maybe this next question is for your benefit. What would be your sales pitch for Farm RPG to somebody else?
I've thought about this one. Of course, Augie has her legendary answer. I've tried to narrow it down just a little bit. It's a simple farming-based text RPG that you can be casual, you can be hardcore about it. It's really whatever suits your play style. There's something there for you. And for me personally, it's a chat RPG with a little bit of clicking on the side. But for other people, a different description might be a little better. So yeah, I think I'd just go with that.
Now, you mentioned there's something for everybody. I think where most of the community got to know you was initially in help chat.
Yeah, absolutely. I started out in giveaways chat. I actually started during the Valentine's Day event, and something that really astounded me more than any other community was the giving. I think somebody said that it's aggressive giving. Is they're going to give it to you no matter what. And so, looking for Valentine's Day cards, I was starting out. I didn't know what I was doing. And so they're like, hey, here's a bunch of cards. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. Find out later they were working on masteries and happy to give them to me. But at the time, I was like, that's awesome. And so I kind of made my way into giveaways chat that way. Started asking, okay, I have another quest coming up and I need another 200 cards. And people were throwing them at me. And that's what really hooked me originally. I kind of hung out in giveaways chat for a while. At some point, I started learning the game better. I would love to read. So the library kind of naturally sucked me in. So I think I stumbled into help chat at some point. Somebody answered a question wrong. And I was like, I know the answer to that, and that's not the answer. So then I kind of threw it in. Well, actually, I think this is it, and kind of referred them to a library page. And they're so thankful. Like, all right, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I was like, man, that's a good feeling. And then ever since then, kind of just sucked me in. And as my repertoire of library pages grew, I knew I could share them real fast and quick and easy. And I kind of found out I had a knack for it and be able to explain things simply to people. And I don't know. Ever since then, I don't know, this was my calling, I guess. I don't know. I just really enjoy it, though.
That's awesome. It started with well, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a nerdier
way? Oh,
Well, that's awesome. I've mentioned this before. You can kind of tell what kind of a player someone is by what chat they hang out with in.
mm-hmm.
And I always wonder, people that like hanging out and help chat, do you work in tech support or something of that nature?
No, I work in construction, actually. I'm a contractor. So, and I don't know where that came from. I'm not sure. Just one of those things. I never in a million years would have thought, help chat would be my place. Starting a game. Are you kidding? That's ridiculous. But somehow I just ended up there, and I love it.
Awesome.
Part of it too is I kind of have a little bit of OCD, so I love updating the library and making sure everything's efficient. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been capitalizing library pages, trying to make them all consistent. So honestly, at this point, you might see most of the library pages last edited by Rkm for that reason. So maybe that's a little bit of it, is trying to be more efficient and make sure everybody can find information as easily as possible.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about something you have in your profile, the Help Chat Book Club. Maybe you can give us a plug for what that is.
Well, I've kind of looked at the gangs. I thought they were silly for a long time. All right, gangs, everybody has their own icon, whatever. But libraries naturally incline themselves toward having books in them. And one time, I don't even remember exactly where the idea came from. And I was like, it would kind of be fun to have our own gang, maybe for Help Chat. I was racking my brain. I saw a bunch of book emblems. And, okay, that might work. So I just threw it out there, kind of a joke. Didn't really think anybody would latch on to it. I changed my icon to a book and think, hey, Help Chat Book Club. Well, next thing you know, at Terra Nova, I was like, this is a good idea. Let's make it a thing. Kind of started running with it. Then another player named Badimaru, whatever it is, they convinced, I think, FFFFF to make a library page about it. I was like, wow, this is actually a thing. And it kind of just snowballed from there. So next thing I know, there's probably like 10, 15 members that were regular Help Chat hangouters. I just kind of went from there. We've kind of ended up taking over Help Chat. And so often, if you hop into Help Chat, you'll see somebody with either a book icon, or if you go to their profile page, you'll say Help Chat Book Club. And we love answering questions. And especially, I swear they made me a staff member because I kept bugging FFFFF and Augie about new pages. Oh, there's a change here, a tweak there. We need to update this. I think they just got tired of me, and that's why they made me a member. But now I just go through and with Help Chat, you need a lot of pages, and you need to make them simple, straightforward, clear. So now I really just go through the library. It's like half my fun is go and try to find things I can tweak and change and make better and update. So if you ever have a page you think needs to be updated, just shoot me a message. I love doing that and making sure that everything's up to date and clear.
So I just pulled up the about updates full list so I could find the date. It looks like we made you a staff member on the 29th of July this year. Maybe you can tell us a little about that experience.
It was a little surreal. Augie had asked me, like, hey, if you ever wanted to be a staff member, what would you do, or what would it be like? Something along those lines. And I kind of just was thinking, okay, cool. In the future, they'll have applications, and maybe they'll throw mine in there too. And that's what I didn't even think I would be made one. The next thing I know, I get a message like, hey, you want to be a staff member? And it kind of just blew my mind. I was thinking, what? Me? I'm kind of a knucklehead. I don't really. Anyway, I never in a million years thought that they'd consider me. And the next thing you know, I'm thrown into all these legends such as yourself, and these people that have been staff members ever since the beginning. And I was thinking, oh man, I'm not up for the challenge here. But fortunately, the library helps again, and there's like a couple of library pages for staff members, kind of helps us figure things out. And it really, as soon as I learned how to do BB code, it's called, in the library, I knew I was right at home. I could start updating stuff, fixing all those little things I had bugging me. I actually had a list, in fact, like 10 different things in the library that is like, it's not big enough to bug staff members about, but I really would like to fix it or update it. That's kind of when I felt like I hit my stride a little bit. But it's been real nice seeing how friendly you all are. Sometimes it's easy, and you see a staff member here or there pop in the chat, and you don't really get to know them well. But once you actually become a staff member and see some conversations and stuff, you realize, wow, these are just normal, regular people. They're fun to hang out with. They're fun, very entertaining, very funny, and so it's been a great learning experience, and I've really enjoyed it.
There are some of us that predominantly lurk in staff chat nowadays. I don't get out in the other chats as much as I used to.
Hey, but
sure.
we get to hear you on the podcast, so that's even better. We definitely get
that's true.
You get the full Belligan coming through.
That's true. It's funny in Titan Conquest, and the start of Farm RPG was mostly the video tutorials I did. So people would be like, "Oh, hey, it's the YouTube guy." And now over the last couple months, it's, "Oh, hey, it's the podcast."
Yeah, gotcha.
It's fun to see that change. So what's it like being a staff member now, interacting with the community? How is that different versus beforehand, before you were a staff member?
That's an interesting question. Kind of, I still honestly spend most of my time in help chat. So I kind of end up being the guy that everybody comes to with their issues, whatever it is. Oh yeah, RKM can help you. So I kind of became the de facto mod for help chat. So a lot of that stuff gets channeled to me, and help chat's pretty easy going. Never really have any issues and stuff. But it's kind of exciting. Every once in a while, Firestream will come on and like, okay, just dropped a new update. And you're like, what? And you kind of get to see his on-the-fly reactions at times. One of them was Raptor Fight Club. He's like, yeah, I made this little thing, just letting you guys know about it. And I kind of chucked it out. I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then the next thing you know, he's posting numbers like 15,000 Raptors are in Raptor Fight Club. And it just kind of blew my mind. So you just get a little bit of a behind-the-scenes peek into stuff like that, and kind of the process, how Firestream works. And it's always really entertaining, and kind of finding out things just made me, not necessarily ahead of time, but kind of like right when they drop. And you get to have a little bit instant feedback, and we get to work out the bugs. I ended up losing 200,000 stamina in Junland before it got capped at 10K, so that was exciting. Fortunately, Firestream gave half of it back, but it's just one of those. We kind of get to be the guinea pigs a little bit, and so it has some downsides, some upsides. It's definitely interesting, and honestly, because I love the chat so much, it's nice having another chat I can look at and read and take part in. That's honestly probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, Firestream's development process is funny. Sometimes there'll be things he's working on for a long time. We'll give a lot of input, and they'll just say, it's not right. And other times it's like, hey, I just put this major thing in and it's live now. Check it out.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like you just dreamt this up in the shower in the morning or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right. Well, besides Farm RPG, what other games do you like to play, or what other hobbies do you have?
Hobbies. I love to read. And kind of book club lends itself to that. I mostly like sci-fi, non-fiction. Wait, no, fiction. Sorry, fiction books is what I enjoy. Also, in general, I play some computer games like Factorio. I love optimizing and making things efficient. Some RPGs and stuff. But honestly, between construction, I'm tired at the end of the day. I come home, watch a little TV, read some books. I don't, not really that exciting a person, but mostly reading. I really like to read audiobooks too. They're awesome.
I'm a big fan of audiobooks. I struggle to sit down and focus to actually read anything. get through books. I've talked about many times before, so I'm not going to go off on that rant. But
right.
I do have a family full of readers, so I can appreciate that. So what audiobooks have you listened to lately?
Oh, let's see. Oh man, now you put me on the spot. I completely forgot them all. Let's see. Galaxy's Edge I'm listening to right now. It's a great sci-fi book. Listen to a series called Columbus Day. I think it's about 14 books at this point. It's kind of like a sprawling space opera epic. I like Tom Clancy books. listen to The Martian by Andy Weir. So if you ever get a chance, you might have seen the movie, but man, the book is so good. And then there's a follow-up book to that, Project Hail Mary. Anyway, I can go on and on, as you can tell, but Project Hail Mary and The Martian are both amazing audiobooks if you ever get a chance to listen to those. Like I said, I can go on and on about that. No one wants to hear my list of recommendations, but that's kind of the summation of what I've listened to recently.
Maybe they do. I'm still on my same. I listen to on Spotify. There's Russell Johnson has his podcast where he's reading the Dristy Warden books. So that's what I listen to when I'm mowing the lawn on Saturday. We're in the Halfling's Gem right now. That's what I've been listening to for a while, and probably will continue being the main audiobook I listen to for quite a while still.
That's nice to have a go-to that you can use on any downtime you have, or like, kind of mindless activities. So great, zone out, listen to a book. Quite relaxing.
I do enjoy that. It keeps me busy, not thinking about what I'm doing when I'm mowing the lawn. Whatever else. All right. If there's anything that you wish the farm RPG community knew, what would that be?
Probably no new players are listening to this, but clicking the icon next to the name, you can add somebody that way. It's quite amazing. I can't tell you how many times I end up throwing that into a conversation, like, "Hey, new player, this is a great way to make chat easier." I definitely remember when I learned that, I was astounded, and really opened up chat to me, made it a lot easier. But just in general, I think it's kind of been touched on the last couple of podcasts. But just us mods, we're just people. We're just normal players. We kind of volunteer our time, but we're not experts at anything. We're not super great necessarily. So try to treat us kindly, give us a little slack. And I found most people do. People have been real nice to me. And one player just asked me, like, "Hey, I know this isn't your job, and I didn't know who to ask, but would you mind updating a library page?" And they were just super kind and awesome. And interactions like that really make me happy. Makes it so it's not like, "Oh, I got to be a mod again. All right, here I go with the hammer." It's not that way. We love interacting with the community, and we love this game. So that's why we're here. And so if you just try to keep that in mind, if you can, I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Two great points. The clicking the icon to bring up the name was almost contentious in Titan Conquest because you didn't have an icon by default there. And we'd be pestering people, put an icon on so we can tag you. And,
man.
We eventually made that the default now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's some trial in there. But that seems to be like one of the most common questions new players always have. Definitely. And then I like the fact that you point out that as staff, we have no special talents. We're just regular Joes. We're not experts at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just regular old schmucks.
Except Code Ranger. He's a wizard at coding and everything. But other than that, most of us don't really have a talent. I can swing a hammer, in real life. That's about it.
Right. Yeah, we have our areas of expertise where we make a living that aren't necessarily game related or community management. That's just something we do for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. You told me you were nervous about this last question because you were convinced there wasn't an answer to it. And that is, tell us an interesting fact about yourself. I told you I'd make that easy for you, but I'm going to say I lied, and I'm going to leave you hanging.
That doesn't surprise me. Okay. I think the most interesting fact about myself is I hate stickers. For some reason, for most of my life, I've been just almost like a phobia of them. And if there's ever a sticker around me, I kind of tense up. I start, breathing a little heavy. And I don't know why. I really don't. Even like Band-Aids and stuff like that, if I have to, if something like I'm bleeding a little bit, I might put one on. But otherwise, I just really, really hate stickers. So fortunately, in Farm RPG, none of you can, sneak up with a sticker and get me with that. So I feel comfortable telling you guys. But in general, especially like on an apple, something like that, I'm terrified of eating a sticker on accident. Always make sure I wash my apples off and clean those up and stuff. I don't know. It's a very, very strange, never been able to get over it thing.
You can get the ones without the stickers, but then you got to punch in the code. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess if you're doing self-checkout.
Yeah, right. And I have a bad memory. I can never remember stuff. So yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, and then I've always kind of had a tangential phobia, I guess, or I don't know, paranoia is probably a better word, is somebody putting something on my back, like something that says, like, sticky thing that says kick me or whatever. Just every time somebody like, hey buddy, how's it going, I always got to check my back and make sure there's nothing there, which, like I said, makes no sense. I realize it's very strange, but it's just one of those things that's hung with me. So yeah, anyway, there's a little peek into my crazy mind.
Hey, our fears don't have to be rooted in anything factual.
Yeah, I guess not.
Awesome. Well, I think that's our big takeaway is if you want to scare Rkm, just get a scratch and sniff sticker.
Yeah.
And,
you do it right there, send
him.
it to me in the mail or something. Yeah.
All right, that is fantastic. Well, it took us a little while to get you on Rkm. I know we called you out on the podcast, and it's time. It's time.
Yep.
We've recently learned that does eventually work. So I will say thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk to me. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know if you mentioned at the beginning, but I was super nervous coming into this, and I've really I feel a lot calmer now. Although, I'm still talking fast, so you guys probably realize I'm still nervous, but I've really enjoyed it. So thank you so much, Belligan. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. That's my biggest challenge. I know my voice is monotone, and so I have to be careful, like when I'm giving presentations, that I don't put people to sleep.
Gotcha.
I got to try to be a little entertaining.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, your marks, get set, let's go. All right, here come the large nets.
Okay, my inventory is only like 5,800, so.
Oh crap, we're gonna fill that up fast.
Augie's going. Oh, Belle's going. Augie. Oh,
crap.
Belle, you just said glass.
My page slipped on me.
Okay, now I'm voiding. Don't give Foe any of your large nets.
Okay, if you're voiding, I'll stop. I just sent you, I sent you...
so many, oh my god.
I think I sent you 4,500. Oh, I had 7,000 and now I have 2,600.
Augie definitely was the winner of that. She got like 7 in a row on Belligan.
I was not I wasn't even double devicing. I was just on my computer.
My mailbox isn't even that big. Oh my god.
All right.
Okay, I got a lot of cooking to do later.
This is the Farm RPG podcast. We are desperate. We will bribe you to come and be on the show.
I have been thoroughly bribed.
As always, I'm your host, Belligan. With me tonight is Augie.
Hi, I'm here and I won. I'm victorious. It's me, not Belligan today.
Like, Augie never wins the upload battle, but in spamming mailbox has me beat easy.
Yep.
Yeah, easily.
And our player who graciously agreed to come on very short notice today when I said, please, we need another player spotlight, will pay, is Raybis.
Hello, hi. Very excited to be here.
Well, we are more excited to have you here probably than you are to be here. I'd wager a bet on that.
I have legitimately woken up.
I messaged Belle like 10 minutes ago and I was like, oh, I can join. I was busy all day.
I was a little sad when Augie said that she couldn't join, but then as soon as, I noticed her in here, I was like,
holy cow!
Awesome! Okay, cool. Good time.
Carnation. Oh, I got Valentine's cards from the wheel. I've been so busy the last few days, I haven't even been able to spin. My goal was to master the wheel by tomorrow, and I maybe I can still do it. I'm a little over 100 away. So
you can try.
I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
This is starting off a lot more like tea time than a player spotlight.
Hi.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just got Valentine's cards. I got wood.
All right. While Augie's spinning the wheel, now that she actually has time to do something, Raybis, how did you first learn about Farm RPG, and how long have you been playing now?
So I learned about it like a lot of other people on the podcast. Just deep diving on the App Store. I wasn't actually looking for anything specific. It just came up on my home feed somehow. I think it's just because I play a lot of niche games on my phone, and then I end up quitting them after like 2 days. But, I just grew some peppers in the middle of the night, and it was like, all right, cool. And then, started playing here and there a little bit. And around February-ish, I started becoming super active in the chat, and it started getting really fun. Giveaways was like super active and new, and all the players were super generous. And that's kind of what roped me in and got me to stay here for the last a lot of months now, 8 or something.
The last amount of time.
Yes. Many amounts of time.
Yes. I don't have the questions pulled up because I'm spinning the wheel, so I'm just gonna pick one. Where did the username Raybis come from? I feel like that's the second question.
That's actually not. I have a Google Doc pulled up, and
well, now
that's the third question.
Now it's the second question.
We're gonna roll with it.
Now it is.
All right. So originally, my username was Ray in Wonderland, and that came from just my Xbox 360 days. My brother was like, pick a username, and I was like, this is my username, and it stuck for a really long time. But then, one day in chat, everybody was converting to the short name gang. All right, it's very elusive. You have 5 to 6 letters. That was the maximum.
I love the short name gang. I'm part of it. It's my name though.
Yes, it's great. I love the short name gang, and so I just scrambled in my head, like I couldn't be Ray because someone already was Ray. And then I was like, oh yeah, my roommate calls me Raybis sometimes. And then everybody in chat was like, yes, that is your new name. You are going to be Raybis. Yes, yes, yes. And that's how it happened. Democracy.
And then it happened. Is there a story as to why your roommate calls you that?
We tend to just call each other a lot of weird things. Like I call her Trapezoid a lot. I don't remember where that started, but in the past month I've called her Trapezoid about 15 times. And it's just because we don't like using each other's names,
It sounds just like a fun dynamic.
Call each other something funny. It is. It truly is.
I like it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So don't hate on me. My username is 7 letters. It's not changing.
It's okay.
You're just not part of
the.
You're just excluded from the gang. That's okay.
I am the clearly and maybe the only sole member of the Off My Lawn gang.
No, I feel like there's like
a long time.
A couple other people, like 1 or 2 other people that like lurk. They're part of the gang.
I'm sure there's a couple other grouchy old guys that mow their own lawn.
Oh yeah, and, probably.
Don't want people on it.
Honestly, I assumed that most Farm RPG players were a bunch of old guys until I actually started playing it. Then I realized that, oh, it's a very diverse community here. Wow, there's so many different types of people.
A lot of them.
We do. Yes. We've got people of all demographics from all over the world.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. You just get to talk to and meet so many different characters. I love it.
So Raybis, when you are trying to pitch Farm RPG to your roommates and get them to play, how do you describe the game?
So I call it my self-induced torture simulator a little bit. But there's group therapy in the chat, so it's a good time because of that. Like you tap the buttons all the time. You have to grow like 100,000 peppers just because your brain says you have to. But there's other people in chat willing to listen to you complain about growing 100,000 peppers. So it feels like a good time because of the people.
And then when you thought you were done, cooking comes along.
Oh,
and you need more peppers.
Yes. Oh my God. Cooking has been a time. Honestly, I feel like I'm just staring at numbers go down all the time now.
Numbers go down instead of numbers go up.
Sad times. But the same amounts of serotonin either way. So I'm happy for it.
Yes. So that was the real second question. Oopsie daisy.
Yes. Also corn. A lot of corn.
Yes. Corn jail forever.
Corn jail forever. Corn jail now even more so with cooking.
Corn jail never ends.
But now there's popcorn for corn jail, so I feel like it's worth it.
I like popcorn. Okay. I'm gonna take. I'm currently collecting more ancient coins and chests because I ran out. Besides Farm RPG, are there any other games or fun hobbies that you partake in?
No, Farm RPG is the only game.
That is,
I know that's the correct answer that you guys want. No, I'm kidding. I play a lot of Guitar Hero in my spare time. That has been my favorite game for the last 5 years now. I don't know. I just find it super relaxing. I love the rhythm game aspect of it. I have a physical Guitar Hero guitar. I have it all decked out. I spray painted my own design on it because my other hobby is doing a bunch of art and stuff like that. So I bounce around with a spray paint or acrylics most of the time. Those are my two favorite mediums, and I tend to work in more abstracts than anything actually of a picture. Like my art's more just backgrounds. But yeah, those are my two favorite little things that I do outside of Farm RPG. And I'm always taking care of my animals as well. I have 3 cats and a fish tank, so keeping up with them is also the other portion of my time.
Give your cats a kiss on the head for me.
I actually can do that right now because Molly is with me.
That's all I needed to hear. You win.
Yeah, she had to be invited during this session. If I'm talking to anyone, she has to be near me.
We're all in favor of the emotional support animals, whether we want them on the show or not, as in the case of my wife.
I want them on the show.
Who luckily is asleep.
Well, now that you've said that canary's going to wake up.
Oh, no.
No, he won't. He won't.
Hopefully.
If it was sunny outside, he would, but not now.
Nap time for him.
All right. Raybis, if there's one thing, besides the fact that you and I got the responsible wheel spinner badge on the same day,
oh, that's cool.
You'd like the Farm RPG community to know, what would that be?
So I wrote a little itty bitty paragraph for the community, and it's you don't always have to be grinding. You don't always have to be the best. Farm RPG is just truly one of the best escapes from reality out there, but it's meant to be played in the long term. Yeah, you can GM peppers in a day, but that doesn't mean you have to. Just try to have fun playing. It's all about the journey rather than the destination, to quote Firestream.
Marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, marathon, not a sprint. That's what it was. Oh my God.
I like yours better.
We'll
have to talk to him and have him revise his statement because I like that better.
No, oh my God, I was racking my brain for 5 minutes trying to come up with what Firestream said. But yeah, that was my little spiel because, it really just is about the time you have playing the game, Farm RPG is just a really good escape from everything. You're just a farmer working on your things, and everybody else is working on the things, and we're all in corn jail sometimes. It's okay.
Usually.
Yeah, a lot of the times. Thank you, Augie. No, actually, no. We're all very upset at you. But anyways.
You're welcome. More to come.
More to come?
Probably.
Oh, no. Well, time to grow some more corn. Well, it's already in my farm. Great.
You're already growing corn. That's excellent.
Yep. Perfect.
I am growing corn at the moment as well.
I think I'm growing potatoes. I fell asleep with potatoes growing last night.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
See, I was going to finish jamming hops. Then corn jail started again. Then cooking came out. And now I'm stuck at 58K for hops.
I don't have any of the crops aside from mushrooms, grandmastered still. Corn is the closest by far.
Augie. I have
other stuff at GM though.
I've been going down the list of crops basically for GMs. So every crop up until hops I have GM'd. So that means peppers, carrots, peas, cucumbers, eggplants, radishes, and onions.
That's right. What my plan was to start at the fastest and go up. I'm currently working on pine trees.
Nice.
GMing.
See,
not me. I
don't have your farm working.
My farm's.
I don't know.
My beets are over halfway. My beets and my peppers are at about the same, around 56,000.
Oh, I've actually GM'd peppers twice because of the community center. It's an ongoing thing. My friends are peer pressuring me into mega mastering them.
I mean, I think that you will. I definitely believe that is something that you will do.
I feel like it's something I could accomplish.
I can't focus on the crops. Like, I can't babysit them like that. I can't focus on it.
It's certain days for me. Sometimes I love growing me some crops. It's good. Bar goes up, turns green, time to click. Woohoo!
There was another question, wasn't there? Wait, no,
There is.
I know what it is. No, I know what it is. I do. Give us an interesting fact. There it is. I remembered.
Okay, so my interesting fact is that I'm currently working as a fairy. Yeah, I get to dress up and hang out in a magically decorated forest. I get to have a tea party with a little stuffed bear and entertain a bunch of small children as they pass by on a hayride. It is literally like the most magical job ever.
It sounds very wholesome.
It is such a wholesome time. Like, I tend to not be a wholesome person, but it's such a pure time. I love entertaining the little kids. I love just hanging out with them, making their day. Sometimes they call me Tinkerbell, even though I don't look like Tinkerbell, but it's fine because they're excited.
But in that moment, you are Tinkerbell.
Even
if you're not.
I'm whoever they want me to be. Well, okay. I'm whatever fairy they want me to be.
Yes, good clarification.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. I love working as a fairy. I love the little kids. I don't know. I've made my own costume for it. I've worked on it for 2 years now. I've made my own skirt for it and everything, and it's a really good time.
So is it for like a haunted quote unquote hayride, or is it like another type of thing?
It's for a haunted hayride, but if the haunted hayride was a mythical hayride. So instead of like a creepy guy getting his head sawed off, it's more of like an Alice in Wonderland style tea party and a giant castle and like little pirates cove and stuff like that. It's generally directed towards younger demographic, as you don't want to scare little kids, you just want them to have a good magical time.
I love that.
It is
fun.
very great. Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting, and like you made your own costume. I if I tried, I'd probably it wouldn't look like Tinkerbell. It would look like it belongs in a haunted hayride.
No, I've made pieces of my costume, but other pieces are obviously like store bought rather than handmade. Certain things like a corset you can't really just make by hand. Wish I could learn how. Sewing's on my to-do list of nifty crafts to do. I love trying.
Yeah, you'd probably have to get Aunt Annie to make that for you. And I've seen some of the Farm RPG shirts she's made.
Well, actually,
yes.
I made my last one. I made my most current one myself.
Oh, that's right.
She actually, shout out to
it was a sweater. She did, right?
8145. No, it was just a t-shirt. I have a green t-shirt, which was like the very first one, and then I have a long sleeve shirt. And then I just have like a purple t-shirt that I made. She just has the thing that can print out the vinyl, like can cut into it, and like the program to do it, and like the editing stuff. But I made this one. I had help editing in the thing, but I made my current one. It's just it's a purple shirt with like the Buddy Stone. We used the Buddy Stone instead because just the way the shading was on the actual Buddy icon, it was just impossible. So it's the Buddy Stone, and then it's like silver, and then in like a really pretty like seafoam green, it just says "This is Buddy," and then on the back it says "Play Farm RPG."
Perfect advertising. Need to wear that everywhere.
I need to get some Farm RPG merch to wear when I'm traveling, but hasn't happened
matching.
Yet.
Can we have matching shirts?
Maybe
We need staff shirts.
Staff shirts.
Yes.
That might get us in trouble, as opposed to promoting the game. If you run into someone who's angry at the Farm RPG staff, that is at least.
Farm RPG stickers as a form of guerrilla advertising. Stick them around towns.
But I think buddy stickers would be perfect.
A Buddy Stone sticker.
Yeah.
Just stick it on concrete and stuff like that.
Stick it on a stop
like make it look
sign.
like
Stick it on on the gas stations where they put those other stickers and then tear them off and then put new ones up. Just slap a buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy bumper sticker.
If there were buddy stickers available, I would print out. Honestly, I could just print out some. Figure out how to make stickers.
I think you have to have a special
Sure, it can be
printer
done.
for it. Because I used to buy
Probably.
Animal Crossing stickers from when I used to trade amiibo cards. There was a couple of people that had a printer. Some of them were the waterproof stickers, some of them weren't. But
you probably find someone Etsy or Fiverr to print those for you. Stickers. Give me a huge order of these.
I'll just
All
get
right.
Buddy Stone with farmrpg.com. That's it. Simple, clean.
Well, before we get to the point of encouraging our listener base to graffiti Buddy everywhere.
Okay, maybe not.
I mean,
Probably.
do not vandalize property that is not your own.
Yeah, only vandalize your own property.
If you want to spray paint Buddy on the hood of your car and it's your car, I'm all
Go
for it. If it is someone else's car,
Just take pictures.
Don't recommend. Yeah, you have to take pictures. That's a stipulation. If you do it, we need to see.
Share it on Discord or on Reddit, one of the two.
Yes.
I think this clears Firestream of any liability.
We hope so. We'll have to have the Magic and Wires LLC's lawyers take a peek at it and see.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, with that, we will say thank you, Raybis, for taking some time to come and talking to us today on short notice. It was a lot of fun. Enjoy getting to know you.
Of course.
Thank you. Enjoy the nets.
Yes. Quick thing. I got to do a shout out to Rat Gang and the Snowball King. He knows who he is.
Is it Alfredo?
Yes.
Shout out to Alfredo.
Alfredo best. Or Jalfredo right now.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Orville also. Orville be on the podcast. I have to every time until I get Orville on the podcast.
Get him on here.
Not Orville.
All right. There we have it. Show up, Orville. We're waiting for you.